Hello and welcome, everybody. We have got a race between Skeeter and Humbug. This is a boss randomizer, so that it should be maps shuffled in, compasses shuffled in, and the bosses are all shuffled. And it should be a great one. I am here with Alex. Hello, how are you, Alex?
Hello, Goran. I am doing great. I hope you're doing great as well.
Yep, definitely doing great and definitely looking forward to this one. So, as much as I know about the history of this, Humbug has played one game, Skeeter has played three. They both have one win. And let me see. Well, there's not too much more in the group. There aren't that many races that have been in the group in the past week and a half. Is there anything else that you would know?
No, not really. Just more like Skeeter and Humbug, very good runners. Humbug and Skeeter has been around for a while, and well, you always see at least Skeeter and Humbug in like every tournament. So it's gonna be hopefully a close race between these two.
Yes, definitely. That's what we all hope for, a close race. What do you what do you think the Go mode item will be tonight?
Yeah, it's too hard to say. It's boss randomizer, so it tends to be like an ice rod because ice Trinix or Trinix at the land Motu or whatever whatever scenario you can get. It's always ice rod whenever it comes to boss randomizers.
I'll be I'll be nice and hope that it's Kane of Samaria.
That's quite friendly.
And there'll be 3 bombs. This should help if they want to do the whole of the escape sequence. Of course, this is open, so they don't have to. Both getting their signs in sync, and both trying to dodge those guards.
I was just quite surprised to see both going for uncle routing. Not really something you see all the time from one of these two, so quite interesting that they both picked uncle routing today.
And the first triple is 20 rupees. So, Uncle gives 50 rupees, and the other chest on in the Uncle area gives 20 rupees.
Yeah, lots of rupees. Always nice to have when you go to Kakarika later on, so I can't really complain about that one.
And both choosing to save and quit. So they're both going outside of Sanctuary. We'll see if they check Lumberjack. The boss shuffle should mean a lot in this mode. However, the fact that maps and compasses will be shuffled into the inventory means that each dungeon has 2 more items in play. We'll see if the runners are more likely to traverse the dungeons. And here we see some divergence. Skeeter is going up to Lost Woods, whilst Humbug is going to check Lumberjack Ledge.
Yeah, getting another triple, checking the bushcraft as well. Oh, there's a bow, so that's an early item. We don't know what the boss is in Eastern, but at least we have a weapon.
So that's Bow on Mushroom Spot and 50 rupees as for Lumberjack. And that is Bombos on the Lost Woods drop down.
Yeah, it's pretty stacked Lost Woods already, so definitely worth going here early on.
So we see Skeeter slightly ahead of Humbug in this routing. Skeeter just going into Blind's Hut, whilst Humbug is making his way out of Lost Woods. There are 5 items here in Blind's Hut, so
Now let's see if there's any kind of progression here. Normally it tends to be quite heavy, but you never know.
10 arrows, a shield, the flippers, and 3 bombs.
Flippers is quite nice. Unlocks more extra checks, so
And
quite nice.
the map of the Tower of Hera for Skeeter. That map will tell if the Tower of Hera is a crystal or a pendant.
Yeah, I don't think Skeeter or Humbug will check the map. Or, well, maybe not. Never mind, it's a red crystal as well, Hera, so we do have to beat Tower of Hera today.
And Skeeter's gone down Kakariko well for a piece of heart. And that's the Moon Pearl.
Quite important, so...
A sword.
Another sword.
And the compass. Okay. I was just seeing the lamp. The lamp was in my mind when that was all happening.
That was a flute from the bottle vendor, so this is a very stacked Kakariko already. Also, that Eastern Palace compass, quite nice in a game mode like this, since you can actually see what boss Eastern Palace will have for our runners today.
So Skeeter's just now going into Chicken Hut. Whilst Humbug is just activating the flute, and that's 3 bombs in Chicken Hut.
No need to buy any bombs here, so just save your rupees here for a little bit longer.
And there, Skeeter is now checking the back of the bar, and that is 20 rupees. The seed so far being decent with money. Not the best. Could give a little bit more for Zora. While that's happening, Skeeter's checking the library. And that is a compass.
Yeah, compass, I don't think, even if we had boots, well, whenever we get boots, I don't think we will actually grab that one.
So Skeeter's now checking what race game is, and it's just a piece of heart, and Skeeter's fluting away. We'll see where both Skeeter and Humbug go. Skeeter's going to the dam. And this chest in the dam is 20 rupees. And Skeeter has to reset the dam in order to drain it.
And no hookshot or mirror here, sadly.
Or both.
That as well. That would be a dream scenario right now.
Yeah. So from this position, and it's just 20 rupees, Skeeter and Humbug could go to Desert, or they could go to Mini Moldome Cave, although they could also flute to Desert. Skeeter is now making his way towards Mini Moldome Cave with 5 checks.
Yeah, 5 checks, and you got all the flipper checks as well, so going here is quite tempting. There's so many items to pick up.
Skeeter using those laser beams to effortlessly defeat the Mini Moldomes. And there are 5 items here. 20 rupees, a heart, a piece of heart, a compass of Turtle Rock, the map of Hyrule Castle, and the hookshot. So
there is
not
that.
far off.
Unlocks another few more items up on the mountain. I bet our runners do want the hat first, unless it's up there.
And it seems as though Skeeter's going to do Ice Rock Cave. Yep, there are certainly a lot of items in the mountain. There is Paradox Cave. There is Spiral Cave. And there's everything on Spectacle Rock. Humbug checked Desert Palace Ledge. I did not see what it was. Piece of Heart and Ice Rock Cave. Did you see what it was?
I did not catch what that was. I don't think it was anything important because I think we would have noticed that, maybe. Potentially.
Hopefully. So Skeeter's going up the mountain.
Oh,
and
wow. Wow. That's a mirror in Agnes Cave.
Yeah, that's big because the mirror grants access to Tower of Hera, which should make Humbug's climb a lot easier.
It definitely gives Humbug at least 2 more checks than Skeeter. Well, you can always do Hera Pot and maybe beat the boss inside Hera. We don't know what the boss is, so.
Since it's map compass, that's 4 by my count.
Yeah, of course. Never mind. It's all these extra items makes my brain confused. Well, the old man gives us a single rupee, so nothing there.
And that was a logic break because both of our runners needed the lamp logically in order to get that 1 rupee. And Skeeter's about to go up and see what's on Spectacle Rock. And it is a piece of heart. And inside Spec Rock Cave is... It's Wake!
Could be useful, so we're definitely picking that one up.
And Skeeter's going for the drop down on Quake. Humbug slightly behind, but Humbug has, Humbug's done a Gina, which is fruitful.
Yeah, that is pretty big already, so definitely worth going to Agina first, but that's also one of those. Either you go to Ice Road Cave, or you go to Agina at that point, so... Skeeter will most likely find his way over to Agnes Cave, hopefully.
So yeah, Skeeter saving and quitting in order to get closer to East Death Mountain, as Skeeter does not have the mirror, whilst Humbug is doing a bomb jump in order to get back to the entrance of Spec Rock Cave, and is probably going to end up in the Tower of Hera first.
That makes sense. You could probably beat this one, and also getting that mirror early on, probably one of those that's you hope Skeeter didn't pick that one up as well.
So Skeeter's going to check the bottom of Paradox Cave first. 20 rupees and a piece of heart. And it is the big key in the normally first check in Tower of Hera.
So no small key at least. Ooh, boost. That is quite huge.
That helps with this Hera part as well. While Skeeter's opening up 5 checks, the map of Thieves Town was 150 rupees, 10 arrows, and 3 bombs.
Wow, that's a really dry Paradise Cave.
And that's 10 arrows. And the Compass of Desert Palace in the big chest, and I believe that's the compass chest in Tower of Hera. It's either the compass or the map. And Skeeter's going to go and check Spiral Cave now.
Sadly for Skeeter, he has to do the slow way around since he doesn't have those boots. And we have a cold stare. Does Humbug have enough? Yeah, I think that's enough magic.
We'll see right now. Just enough. Humbug has just enough magic. Now let's see if Humbug can defeat Cold Stare and capitalize on the mirror. And that's the hammer in Spiral Cave.
Wow, so Spiral Cave paying off big for Skeeter because he won't be able to grab those boots unless he mirrors away. And Humbug sadly taking a death here, but 4 hearts Cold Stare is not easy.
Humbug deciding to go out of Tower of Hera, while Skeeter is looking as though he's going to check Sahasrahla and perhaps dip into Eastern Palace. So, yep, Cold Stare in Tower of Hera. Now, to clarify on full boss shuffle, actually we'll do it after this Sahasrahla's closet check.
We do have information that Swamp Palaces are green pendant today.
Ooh. 5 rupees, a map, Turtle Rock, and a map, Ice Palace. So, Sahasrahla's been hoarding the maps.
Why would he be able? Like, why would he hoard the maps today? Like, why? Sahasrahla? Like, give us a glove or something.
Maybe he wants to adventure himself for once. So, to clarify on this boss Randomizer, this is one of the 5 modes within the tournament. And in this mode, it is what's called a full boss shuffle. That means that all 7 bosses... all 7? Sorry, all 10. all 10 bosses will be at least shown once, with 3 bosses being shown twice. So it is possible there will be another Cold Stare. However, it's not guaranteed. We know that 1 Cold Stare is in Tower of Hera.
Yeah, Humbug definitely got to experience that one because Cold Stare hurts. So Humbug picking up the hammer in Spiral Cave, definitely in a pretty good spot here already.
And that is the shovel in the second chest of Eastern Palace. I missed what was in the first.
It was just a heart container. Just a heart container.
Just a heart container. Good.
Which in this case quite useful actually, since we're running at like low percent at the moment.
So yes, Humbug is in Sahasrahla's hut, and Skeeter's just defeating the Stalfos room in Eastern Palace and getting the big key on the left side of Eastern Palace. So, whilst Humbug is making his way to Eastern Palace, and the big chest has 20 rupees.
We didn't get a compass to this dungeon earlier, right?
I didn't check the compasses in the map, so I couldn't tell.
Oh, it's
Trinex.
All right. Well, we will not go through the dark rooms here. Well, we will go through one dark room, but we will not go through the last one, at least, for Trinex.
Yeah. Sadly, there's only one check left, so the runners can't get both the Fire Rod and the Ice Rod in Eastern Palace. So Skeeter's making his way up to the big key chest in Eastern Palace, and that's 300 rupees.
That's quite useful.
That's going to help with Kiki as well as with regards to King Zora.
Well, it will at least give us Zora money. Unless Skeeter... Well, Skeeter hasn't checked his... Oh, is he just going for a rupee room, or is he... He never checked the compass, so he doesn't know what boss it is, right?
I did not see him check the compass. I don't think he knows what boss this is. It's possible that the compass for Eastern Palace was in Tower of Hera, which Skeeter wasn't in. Yeah. If anybody can say where the compass of Eastern Palace was, it would help me a lot.
Here, take it easy with your arrows, please. This dark room is can be actually be pretty hard.
So, Skeeter making his way up Eastern Palace.
And will be having a quite a surprise here when he arrives at Trinex.
Whilst Humbug flutes away to go to Ice Rock Cave.
Yeah.
Considering the rupee count of Humbug, this might be mixed in with a Zora play, with a waterfall play, with an under the bridge play. So we'll just see what happens here. And an Ice Rock Cave is a piece of heart. And Skeeter saves and quits after finding out that Trinex is the boss in Eastern Palace.
Yeah, can't really blame him there. Can't really take care of Trinex without Fire Rod and Ice Rod, right?
Not as far as I know, unless there's some strat I haven't been told. And I believe Humbug is water walking, because he has the Moon Pearl in the boots, in order to go quicker than just flippering. I wouldn't know that 100%. And under the bridge is just 20 rubies.
Good news for Skeeter, though, that he arrives for his mirror here quite early.
Yep, Skeeter finding his mirror on Nagina.
Humbug actually fluting away here to check Shovel. So, nice choice from Humbug, just getting this, another one of those one-off checks away quite early.
So, it's either gloves or lamp at this juncture. And there's just Zora and... yeah.
Or on Waterfall.
Zora,
Unless you want to
Waterfall,
go again.
Bonkrox, Escape, and that lovely cold stare on the top of Tower of Hera might have something. So actually, there's a bit. Humbug
There's a
going...
few options.
Humbug checking Waterfall, and that's 20 rupees and a full heart container. Chat saying, was he expecting Armos? And that just put the worst image in my head of Armos Knights, but mini Trinexes. And that is the glove on Zora Ledge.
That's Dark Relaxed already. Could have added a little bit earlier, but we didn't have the rupees for Sora, so it makes sense not going here.
So, Skeeter going to Waterfall Fairy, and King Zora just has a full heart for Humbug. So Humbug going to pick up that glove, and yeah, that opens up a ton of checks.
I think the worst part for Skeeter right now is that he haven't picked up his boots yet, which maybe doesn't seem that huge right now, but whenever you go up without the boots and your opponent have it early on, you do move a lot slower, unfortunately.
So Humbug going to make his way to the Dark World, and we're gonna be seeing Hype Cave, so I'm definitely gonna give this some hype. There are 5 checks in Hype Cave, and Humbug checking the map, and I saw red TR, blue Ice Palace, and blue Thieves Town, and it was a pendant Misery Maya? And that is Silvers in Hype Cave. 10 arrows to help with that. 5 rupees, 50 rupees, and ether.
Well, we will not be looking for a medallion. That's for sure. So that's quite nice. Definitely quite nice.
I'm gonna say that's hype. And the crystals are Turtle Rock and Tower of Hera, which was shown on the map check as well. So that's good that we got to re-see that.
Yeah, I don't think Humbug checked his map earlier, so makes sense that he talked to our little friend there. Do we have? Oh yeah, we had a bottle here on Lake Hylia.
So Humbug mirroring away for Lake Hylia Island,
Oh,
getting
go
the
to
compass.
Oh, swamp. Great. Well, we could actually go into swamp already because we have everything to beat the dungeon, unless we have a boss we can't beat. Which in this case would probably be, would be another Trinix.
So Skeeter's in Tower of Hera whilst Humbug is checking back of escape due to having those gloves. In the predictions right now, it's which medallion will unlock Turtle Rock, which one of the three. In back of escape is a piece of heart, 20 rupees, and a key. Will Humbug go for Dark Cross? He's going down, so seems like we'll be able to see what Dark Cross is. And yes, Skeeter has gotten his boots now, so that's the boots difference gone, which probably doesn't feel too bad about, hopefully.
Hopefully. I guess it feels a little bit bad for Skeeter since he picked up his hammer. Inspired Cave could have gone back up and grabbed the hammer a little bit earlier.
And the
not
check
that
is
one.
soon. He's coming up to it, and it's 20 rupees. 20 rupees in Dark Cross.
See what Skeeter tries to do here, if he will go for trying to kill Colser or not. He's really low. Well, he's gonna pick up, thank God.
Humbug going to the mountain cave, fluting away to Kakariko, while Skeeter finds out that it's Cold Stare. Humbug probably going to make a Skull Woods or Thieves Town play. Skeeter using Bomb Burst to destroy the ice around Cold Stare. And we'll see what happens with this fight.
And this is you have to be really careful here.
Skeeter using
Yeah,
full swings and hammers to fight off Cold Stare, and sadly drops down, but goes back up again.
Yeah, he really wants to take care of Cold Stare already because he doesn't want to go back.
Whilst Humbug is checking Skull Woods. First chest is the Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, that's your go mode prediction already.
Yep. Well, I'll have better luck next time.
Skeeter takes a death here. It's like I said earlier, Cold Stare this early on is not easy, especially not on that floor up there. Or that platform. It's not an easy fight.
So Skeeter's fluting away and fluting to 4, whilst Humbug is making some more checks within Skull Woods. He must have gotten the big key off of the big key chest, and that unlocks a small key. And there should be 2 more chests here. No, 3.
Blue mail.
A key. And that is a bottle which can be turned into Sick Kid.
Yeah, and actually having some good value in it with the red potion as well, which in this game will not turn down.
So Skeeter getting the news about the crystals. Was there any more news with regards to map checks on what bosses were in specific dungeons like Skullwoods and whatnot?
I don't think we have picked up a compass for Skullwoods yet, because Humbug never checked.
Humbug checking Bonkrox, and that is 20 rupees, and Skeeter is checking Stumpy, which is the book, and Skeeter's just going to do all of the South Kakariko checks, checking Dig Spot, which is a piece of heart, and I believe Humbug did before, whilst Humbug is now doing Graveyard Ledge.
This is an annoying check to get, so doing this one early on is always nice, because we never have to think about last locating Graveyard Ledge, which is having a compass here, to Skullwoods, actually.
Oh, and 10 arrows in K45. So Humbug's gonna make his way to King's Tomb, while Skeeter's gonna make his way to Digging Game. And in King's Tomb is 3 bombs. And let's see where Humbug goes next. And that is 3 bombs on Digging Game. Neither of our runners have checked Village of Outcasts or Thieves Town yet, so there should be a ton of checks there, which we'll see.
Exactly what Humbug is going to do now.
Humbug checking C-shaped house, whilst Skeeter's going into dark, getting ready to get into the dark world. Just a full heart container in C-shaped house. And Humbug goes straight into Thieves Town. So there should be 6 checks here. The first one being the big key. Well, the first check, there's 6 items. There's more chests here.
Red mail.
That's the red mail, so anything defense related shouldn't be a worry for these runners tonight. Skeeter, meanwhile, is doing chess game, and that is 100 rupees and a piece of heart. Humbug about to check the third chest in Thieves Town, and that is half magic, while Skeeter is going into Thieves Town. Fourth chest are 3 bombs.
Getting half magic and red mail here in front of Thieves Town is quite nice in a game mode like this. Not gonna lie.
So Humbug making his way to the back.
Hey, look, Mothula.
And it's Mothula.
It's a much easier fight to do when you're not having spikes around you. Humbug getting the first crystal of the race here, so and Skeeter will just be right back here in just a few seconds, grabbing that crystal of Mothula.
Yes, we'll see if Humbug goes back in, and he doesn't for now. He's instead going into chess game. I have been checking. There is an unofficial percentage on bosses. I have been checking that. Since Trinex and Coltstay have already been seen in Eastern Palace and Tower of Hera, it's most of the enemies that can still be found are just sword enemies. So it shouldn't be too much of a worry for our runners. 20 rupees being on Sick Kid.
While Humbug actually giving Sick Kid a bomb, because I don't think Humbug was that happy. nothing in the brewery here either, so let's see what humbugh does. I guess it's gonna run down to dig game and check Stumpy and all that stuff that Skeeter has already done.
Yep. And then Skeeter can go up and do Graveyard Ledge in King's Tomb.
Yeah, they're just going to trade places here. The good part with Humbugg's routing here is that he will grab the book and probably route in Bombo's tablet as well.
So now, since both runners are redoing their checks, it's a good time to say that just thank you to the runners for running this and being able to show us this lovely race. Both runners are very competent, and they've definitely been very, very nice. So make sure to give them a follow.
Yeah, Skeeter and Humbugh, 2 top runners, for sure.
So Skeeter's making his way into Skull Woods and gets the cane, whilst Humbugh is going to Stumpy and gets the book. The book...
I could see Humbugh Bombo's tablet in swamp at this point.
The book does mean that Desert Palace is in logic.
Yeah, but we don't have a fire source right now, so... Do you actually want to go in there without a fire source?
With the boots, maybe? Maybe. Humbugh deciding to go for Pyramid Ledge. So we haven't seen this before. It's just 20 rupees.
So this Pyramid, being able to check front of escape as well.
And Humbugh is now going to do the front of escape. So this hasn't been done by our runners, so we'll see some new checks here. And that is the map of Ganon's Tower. So
That is like getting the Hyrule Castle map. 2 of the most useless maps in the whole game.
Definitely.
It's just like the oh joy when you pick those up. It's like it could have been something else that could have given me crystal knowledge, but nope.
So Humbugh about to check the boomerang chest, and that is a green rupee. Yeah, I think something was wrong with the game if the GT map displayed a crystal or a pendant.
It's time to be very worried if in that case, so hopefully that will never happen.
Hopefully. So Humbugh uses a silver arrow on the guard and gets 300 rupees off of Zelda Cell, whilst Skeeter is doing the North Dark World checks. Humbugh goes back into the Dark World. Will this be a catfish check?
Yeah, this is like it's now or never because catfish is so isolated.
Humbugh making his way up.
At this point, you have to do either gamble on like you can beat Pod, or you go into Swamp / Bombo's Tablet / Desert, like you mentioned, or unless you want to go up the mountain and do Ether and Cold Stare again.
And that is a map. And that is the map of Dark Palace, which looked to be a pendant. We'll get confirmation on that. If it is a pendant, we've got all 3 pendants.
Yes, that is very much a pendant.
which is slightly unsettling because Pod and Swamp Palace some of the have the most items of any dungeon in the game. So
This is a Swamp Palace play from Humbug. Makes a lot of sense. You picked up the compass earlier to this dungeon so you can check the boss. So you might not even have to go and beat the boss.
yeah, we'll see if the Swamp Palace play checks out. Humbug has all the materials for it. There should be 8 checks in Swamp Palace, so should be a lot of material here. While Skeeter's making his way up to Catfish.
Well, technically it's 9 because this is our green pendant. Oh, it's actually 10 items. Never mind. 9 items plus. Yeah, never mind. I can count sometimes.
I can.
It's blind as the boss in Swamp Palace.
Okay. So that the whole of Swamp Palace is full clearable. And Skeeter is turning in that bottle for Sick Kid. Getting those 20 rupees.
I'd be interested to see what Skeeter decides to do here. I think that's gonna be a Swamp Palace play as well, at this point.
So, it seems as though both the runners have done exactly the same checks.
Yeah, I think Skeeter haven't done the front of escape / Dark Cross at this point. I could be wrong, but...
I think you're right on that one, yes. Still on material, they're the same. And Skeeter's just slightly behind Humbug on Swamp Palace, so no divergence here. Oh yes, and as the message from SpeedGaming has said, if you'd like to volunteer on any of the SpeedGaming channels, let us know. It was only a few months ago that, well, I saw that message myself, and now I'm here. The community is absolutely amazing, to do with both SpeedGaming and just the link to the past Randomizer community. So, Humbug is going to be making his way to left side swamp.
Yeah, better just get it out of the way the first time you're here, so you don't have to go back in one more time.
And Skeeter's just doing the front of it.
See what the left side swamp got for us. We got Tempered Sword, that's nice.
Yeah. The difference between Master and Tempered is a lot. And a full heart piece, yeah, definitely nice for Tempered Sword.
Makes that a cold stare in Tower of Hera a lot more easier.
I guess the question is when? When will the runners go back to Tower of Hera?
Whenever they have done all the checks they have left and find nothing at this point.
So, Humbug going to the back of Skullwoods. The big key must have not been in any of the chests in the front of Swamp Palace. Humbug doing Diver Down.
Yeah, unluckily gets the block going the wrong way, the wrong direction.
And gets 3 bombs and 20 rupees.
So far we are only seeing the Tempered Sword being useful in this dungeon.
And that is the compass of Ganon's Tower. Humbug going to make his way towards blind. While Skeeter's making his way to do the left side swamp chat.
We'll be able to get this tempered sword, which will Skeeter will most likely be very happy with at this point.
If I count, this blind should be the big key.
It could be also that the big key is locked inside the chest.
Ah yes, good point. So blind is down from Humbug, and that gives the big key, and that gives the green pendant. So that gives 2 more checks. We'll see if Humbug goes back into Swamp Palace.
I think you have to do it right now. Since you only have 1 more check in here, it would be you will never go into a swamp again.
And he does make his way back in.
Skeeter makes sure he doesn't already picked up that big key already. So yes, Skeeter, you'll have to make another trip in, unless you really don't want to shake that big chest.
So where do you think is next for our runners?
I think since we're in this area, it's going to definitely be Bombo's tablet. Then it's pretty much up to the runners if they want to check whatever we can check inside Desert Palace or go to Pod / turn in the green pendant.
So it was just a full heart container in the big chest in Swamp Palace. Humbug about to check Bombos while Skeeter's in the back of Swamp Palace. And Bombo's tablet is the mitts.
Well then, that opens up a few more locations for our runners today. Does look like Humbug is heading straight for Ice Palace, actually.
Yes. We'll see if we can know what the boss is in Ice Palace. Humbug having to use Bombos with regards to opening Ice Palace up. Because he hasn't got a Fire Rod yet. We still haven't found the Fire Rod or the Ice Rod. Both of which are needed because Eastern Palace by deduction is a crystal tonight. So Humbug checking Ice Palace whilst Skeeter has defeated Blind in Swamp Palace and gets the big key and that green pendant. First item in Ice Palace is a shield.
It's not Fire Rod, but it's at least Fire Shield, so we could probably use that one to fry up Cold Stare, right? That's totally legit, right?
There is another Cold Stare out there. So, well, we'll see if Ice Palace is Cold Stare this time. In the big key chest is just another heart. Humbug doing Icebreaker in order to get to that big key chest, and Skeeter going back into Ice Palace. Their chest is the big key. And then there's 3 bombs in Spike Room. So Skeeter going off to get to the Bombos tablet where we know that there is the mitts.
Ooh, mushroom.
Mushroom. Easy flute destination for our runners, so we'll see if that's turned in soon. A small key in the big chest. What's left is iced tea room, which Humbug must have deduced that there must be an item here. So we'll see what turns up. while Skeeter, with those mitts, is going to be doing Hookshot Cave, Super Bunny Cave, various checks in Dark Death Mountain. Also going to check what the medallion is for Turtle Rock. It doesn't matter this time because both runners have all 3 medallions, but will be interesting to know.
Yeah, unless we find Fire Rod here, we could actually check a few items in Turtle Rock if we actually, if we want to dive in. But I don't think we're gonna do that.
Turtle Rock, the only side is the east side, which would be Fire Rod locked, and that is Bombos as the medallion. It is possible that Turtle Rock is clearable, and in Ice Palace, that is Argus. I'll just put the information in and give you a percentage of Trinex in TR. An unofficial percentage.
It's a lovely pink Argus, actually. We have second crystal for Humbug. 1 green pendant and 2 crystals. That's feels probably pretty good. And there's our lamp in Super Bunny Cave.
Yep, and the red boomerang. So, yeah, still the percentage is quite low for Trinex with respect to Turtle Rock. Unofficially, it's about 7%. While Skeeter is checking Hookshot Cave. First item, I believe, was a compass, map of Misery Mire, piece of heart, and the map of Desert Palace.
Yeah, we're getting all the maps at this point. When we already know the crystal and pendant layout. It's always fun.
Yeah, so Humbug is turning in that mushroom to see what's here, while Skeeter is checking Ether Tablet and may make the play into Tower of Hera with that better equipment. And it didn't seem as though there was anything on Mushroom Turn-In. Humbug is, well, is going to check Marshed.
I could see him definitely go into one of the dungeons here. But in this case, would probably be Desert at this point, not Mire, because we don't have a fire source. Well, he does now. Skeeter does.
So Humbug having 20 rupees and the powder, and going to check Desert Palace.
Got a Helmasaur in Desert Palace today. This time around, Skeeter, this Cold Stare fight should be a lot easier.
Yeah. Far more than just Master Sword. Skeeter's on 12 hearts with Tempered Sword. And he gets 1 down. 2 down, and 3 down. To get the small key to open up the basement, and that is the big key on the east side of Desert Palace, and that is Skeeter's second crystal at 52 minutes.
Yeah. Good thing that Skeeter picked up that lamp before going back in. Not that he's gonna check the basement, but that's a different story. The good part here for Skeeter is that he can actually beat both Mire, if he wants to beat Mire, Meyer being a pendant, but you can beat Meyer and Desert Palace with his lamp, because you can actually get all the items in Meyer.
Humbug checking Checkerboard Cave. Yes, that lamp is going to be very handy. And Humbug picking up the map for Skullwoods.
I think it's gonna be interesting to see what Humbug decides to do here. If he goes back into Hera, which I could imagine he does, if he actually will check the basement for an item, or he will do what Skeeter did and just bail out.
So Humbug's now going into Dark Death Mountain, while Skeeter is checking the front of Desert Palace. Skeeter will be able to full clear Desert Palace with that lamp he got off Dark Death Mountain. That's why Humbug couldn't do this. And Humbug gets the lamp and the red boomerang. So we're just missing a fire rod and an ice rod from Go Mode for Eastern Palace Trinex.
Yeah, we're not far away, so hopefully can start finding the items we're looking for. I feel like Pod and Meyer might be quite a check, actually.
So Skeeter's going to make his way to the back of Desert Palace. It seems as though Humbug's going to check Ether Tablet and do Tower of Hera.
Yeah, we'll see if Humbug decides to do the basement, or he just feels like Skeeter and be like, there's never anything in Hera basement.
Chat saying potentially the rods could not be needed at all, right? They are needed because the boss of Eastern Palace is Trinex, and Eastern Palace is a crystal. That we found out quite early on in this game. Humbug making that Hera pot to go up Tower of Hera, and Skeeter facing off against Helmasaur using the hammer. Also at the same time, Humbug is now facing off against Goldstaff.
That should be as easy as for Skeeter. Just needs to be careful about the falling ice blocks that could actually push him down.
That is Skeeter defeating Helmasaur. 56 minutes, 30 seconds. That gives the Cane of Burner. And that is Skeeter's third crystal. Cane of Burner. That Spike Cave. Ugh.
Yeah, do you want to do a Spike Cave, Goran?
Don't think I'd want to. And that's Humbug's third crystal at about 56 minutes and 40 seconds. We'll see if Humbug makes his way to the basement of Tower of Hera, and he goes in.
This could be pretty big if there's something in Hera basement at this point. Can't really see Skeeter doing this until like pretty much last arcading.
And Skeeter's going to be checking Checkerboard Cave. And goes out of there because it's a map and Skeeter must have full knowledge of where everything is now. Skeeter going into Maya, and that is Bombos as well.
go in and beat another dungeon. Can't really complain with how this routing is turning out.
So Humbug lights the first, the second, the third, and the fourth torch, and that's the ice rod.
That
Oh,
is huge. Oh my.
oh,
That is definitely a last location for Skeeter at this point.
oh.
Wow. That is one nasty location for a nice rod.
And Humbug is a fire rod away from go mode. Humbug going to check Spike Cave out of logic. He does have a bottle, he does have 14 hearts, so he should be able to do it. Let's see what this is. Humbug using his bottle. And it is the Butter Sword, the fourth sword.
I mean, sword is nice, but I mean, at tempered sword, you're already comfortable. Speeds up a few things like Trinex because you don't need as many hits with your sword, but it's not like you really need it at this point. Oh, there's the fire rod. Humbug will be in go mode here anytime soon.
Yep, so the fire rod in Misery Mire. In one of the eastern side small key chests in Misery Mire.
This is turning out pretty good for Humbug after doing that Hera basement. Wow, I can't. That is that's pretty huge.
Yep, so Skeeter going to be doing Misery Mire whilst Humbug is clearing up Desert Palace. Both runners are on 3 crystals. Humbug has done slightly more checks than Skeeter. The main ones being the escape checks. So the main thing for Skeeter right now is how long will it take for Skeeter to find the ice rod in Tower of Hera basement? Because
I mean, it's gonna take a long time at this point. He got pod. He got so many other options at this point that I can't see him go there for a long time. He still has Smith Chain and all this stuff. Like it's
yeah,
it's a last cave for sure.
Humbug using the hammer against Helmasaur. And Skeeter's still clearing Misery Mire.
Yes, Skeeter very much knows that he's an ice rod away from go mode as well, so can't really bail on any item so far. Unfortunately, already did in Hera basements.
So yep, that is Skeeter's 4th crystal at 1 hour and 1 minute. While Skeeter is doing the dark rooms in the basement in Misery Mire. Humbug has gone back to the Dark World and is about to open up Misery Mire.
And we'll be in go mode in just a few because Fire Rod is right in here, so can go mode Eastern. Well, he already been in Eastern, but then go mode in Terror Rock is quite slow still because you need to find the big key and all that stuff.
And yeah. So Skeeter about to face off against the boss of Misery Mire. We don't know what the boss of Misery Mire is. So could be anything, and it's the Almost Knights.
Look at that.
And with the silvers, not so much of a hassle. Skeeter defeats those Almost Knights, gets his compass of Thieves Town, and gets his crystal from Misery Mire. His 4th at 1 hour, 2 minutes, and about 25 seconds. And at the same time, Humbug picks up his Fire Rod. Humbug is now in go mode with 3 crystals to clear.
Yeah, this is pretty fast for being MC boss shuffle for sure.
Skeeter is fluting away. The question is where? Skeeter flutes away to 8.
And this side spells. Another dungeon you can clear, and it's fast with the icebreaker.
Yeah. So at least it's a crystal that Skeeter will be clearing. It won't be go moded, but it'll be quite fast with the boots. Just got to hope that Skeeter somehow finds the ice rod in Hera basement. In the meantime, Humbug is making his way to the basement of Misery Maya.
Yeah, I almost said heading to Vitreous because you're so used to it, but it's actually Armos Knights, but old habit, I guess.
Well, out of everything, there still might be 2 Vitreouses, but where do you think Vitreous is? Misery Maya... Sorry, not Misery Maya. Oh, Turtle Rock or any one of the 3 GT checks.
It's gonna be up where Moldorm 2 normally is. That will be a Vitreous right there.
Skeeter setting up the icebreaker in order to get to the Ice Palace big key chest. Humbug making his way through the dark rooms.
You're having some issues here setting up icebreaker, but finally gets it.
And gets that heart out of the big key chest. Humbug is defeating the Armos Knights. And that is Humbug's 5th crystal at 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 50. So now Humbug fluting away. Should be to Eastern Palace. Yeah, Humbug fluting away to 5.
It is gonna be a quick not Armos Knights. Never mind. It's boss shuffle, Alex, please. It's gonna be nice, fast Trinex.
I said it before, I'll say it again. They're the Trinex Knights.
Oh wait, that's a good name. Good name on the boss.
So Humbug making his way in the front of Eastern Palace. Using the Cane of Burner for some invincibility. While Skeeter is about to face off against Argus, if I remember correctly.
Yes, you do. It's our dear friend Argus.
Humbug defeating the Stalfos in the Stalfos room in Eastern Palace, making his way towards the big chest. Skeeter is using sword swipes and hook shots in order to defeat the first phase of Argus. Humbug doing the dark room at the back of Eastern Palace. A little bit easier with the lamp. And Skeeter's on the final phase of Argus.
I think the main question here is where will Skeeter go now, because he doesn't have that many nice options anymore.
Yes, Humbug defeating the Igors and is up against Trinex. Using Ice Rod shots and sword swipes on the Firehead, defeats the Firehead, defeats the Ice Head.
That's like the nicest perk with having the Butter Sword. You only need 3 hits with the sword.
Skeeter making his way up the mountain. Humbug has defeated Trinex for his 6th crystal at 1 hour and 7 minutes and 40 seconds. In the meantime, Skeeter has defeated Argus. That was about it. 1 hour and 6 and something. That was his 5th crystal. We'll see where Skeeter goes from here.
This most likely being a Turtle Rock play for Skeeter.
The only saving grace being it is slightly in the right direction. Humbug making his way up the mountain. But yeah, Skeeter's made his way up Paradox Cave. We will see. Most likely Skeeter will make his way towards Turtle Rock.
It is most likely Turtle Rock, and then maybe Hera Basement when you're done here, or you just go for a Spy Cave.
And Skeeter goes into Turtle Rock. We don't know the boss of Turtle Rock. Turtle Rock is clearable, forgetting about the boss with that fire rod. And Humbug is opening up Turtle Rock. I'm just thinking, apart from the ice rod being where it is, there's... Our runners have pretty much got everything.
Yeah, it can.
That could help.
Like, they have everything they need. I guess it's... Well, they don't already got Kate of Burna, but otherwise it would be, like, the cape. That would have been, like, a nice thing, or, like, bug net, I guess.
2 keys being in the east side of Turtle Rock, and Humbug has checked the compass room. I think that was just a map or a compass. Skeeter making his way to the chain jump room. And that is the big key in the chain jump room chest. Humbug will be moding this, so this will actually be quite helpful to Humbug.
Yeah. Just being able to get that big key, you'll steal the key from Pokey, while Skeeter has to check lava chest for hopefully an ice rod, which we know that will not happen.
Yeah. As far as I can remember, there should be 5 checks in Turtle Rock, plus 2 for map compass shuffle. So there are tons of checks here. There should be no reason for Skeeter not to check all these chests here. But the issue is, with the ice rod placement, every chest that Skeeter does check is time against Humbug.
Yeah, unfortunately I can't really see Skeeter turn this one around because of the fact where ice rod is, and when he's done here, the only thing that could say, well, for Skeeter being in go mode would be heading straight for Hera Basement before Spy Cave. I don't see that happening either, unfortunately for Skeeter.
Ice Rod is Hera Basement, to clarify to chat. Skeeter checking Mimic Cave now, whilst Humbug is going... just not going outside because Humbug doesn't need to check Mimic Cave, and Humbug is ahead within Ice Palace because of not having to make those checks.
Yeah, there's the small key you need, so you can just ignore Laser Bridge completely.
And since this will be a short one, I'll just say that once Trinex is defeated, get your guesses in chat for the GT Big Key guessing game. Numbers between 1 and 22. Humbug just going to left, not needing to go to Laser Bridge. And Humbug is making his way up towards Trinex.
Well, we do not know if it's Trinex or not.
Oh, that's definitely Trinex, okay?
That's a very funny looking Trinex.
It's got one more eye than Trinex has. That is Moldrum on Shrine in Turtle Rock.
Well, Goran, where do you think the GTB key will be?
I have guessed tonight number 8.
Well, that
I
will
don't
not
know
be
how that will logic in. I think that's normally the compass room in most people's routes.
I don't really know how Humbug will route this one. Maybe Humbug feels good with the ice rod being what it is. It's hard to tell in a mode like this if you decide to skip or not.
And that is Skeeter's 6th crystal. Skeeter's still having to find the ice rod. Okay, so doing the checks. First check is a single arrow.
And he didn't even pick it up. I'm so disappointed, Humbug.
And Humbug is going to make his way to Stalfos room. If you want to do number 2 and we'll alternate.
Small key, big 20. We have 10 arrows and another small key. So that's 5 checks already.
And Humbug mirrored out.
Ooh, Skeeter doing the correct play here with the Hero basement.
And that's 3 bombs and a full heart container, 6 and 7. And Humbug is making his way to Tile Room and goes past Tile Room.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit too early to do that Tile Room at least.
Humbug making his way to the right side. 4 checks coming up. 8 to 11. Eight is 20 rupees. 9 is a piece of heart. 10 is 3 bombs. And 11 is the big key. And I will just check. And congratulations, iColumn, for guessing 11.
And Skeeter is in full go mode at 1:16:17.
So currently the difference between the runners, Skeeter needs to finish Eastern Palace, go up the mountain, and then defeat GT. And then he'll be up to the level that Humbug is at. So there's quite a difference between our 2 runners. It's not 100% impossible, but it's most likely that Humbug will probably win this, as far as I can see.
I guess maybe we'll get a few Ganon falls from Humbug. You know, like a few Ganon falls maybe fall before, you know, getting across the bridge. We have seen that in the tournament before, so definitely possible. But Skeeter needs a miracle at this point, I would say.
Yeah. So Humbug is making the climb while Skeeter is in the Stalfos room in Eastern Palace. And we will be able to see what Lamo 2 is. And Lamo 2 is
Wow.
vanilla! Humbug defeating 2 of the Lammo, and Sword swipes the 3rd. And Humbug makes his way up to the 5th floor, whilst Skeeter skips all the Igors and has the Cannonball Room and the 2 red Igor rooms in Eastern Palace before Skeeter gets to face Trinex.
Yeah, this time around, Skeeter is more prepared than the first time he visited Trinex here.
So Humbug has cleared the first torch room, while Skeeter has defeated the Firehead and has now defeated the Icehead, going on to 3rd phase of Trinex. And Humbug powdering for that fairy, while Skeeter has defeated Trinex.
Look at that. Got a cold stare at Molten 2.
It's Cold Stare 2.
Oh yeah, cold stare 2. Never mind. It's the he was in the other dungeon as well. So it's
Tower of Hera.
I guess cold stare just enjoys hanging out on a platform in the middle of the air. So
yeah, Cold Stare is on the Moldorm 2 spot. So 2 Cold Stares. The only boss we didn't see is the boss at the bottom of GT. Humbug now facing off against Aga 2, while Skeeter is making the climb up to GT. And Humbug defeats Agnum, too.
yeah, nicely done by Humbug. And this fight against again is gonna be pretty fast. You got silvers, you got half magic, you got butter sword. It should be fairly fast.
And Skeeter goes into a portal into the Dark World, and is about to make his way into GT. Humbug is on his first phase of Ganon. And that is Skeeter opening up GT. Ganon's on his second phase. And 3rd phase. Yeah, Humbug just slashing at Ganon. Ganon is now teleporting away. Just evading. And now Ganon's on his 4th phase. Humbug gets the torch glitch. Gets 1 arrow for the first hit, 2 for the second. And that is Ganon down. Get your GGs ready in chat for Humbug.
It's Humbug's second victory in this tournament, so it's starting to look pretty good for Humbug.
Yeah, 2 for 2 for Humbug. So, yeah. And we'll see if we can, if we will be getting Humbug in. In the meantime, Skeeter is in Stalfos room, checking the left side, and he's going to make his way down the left side of GT, so we'll see what's in Rando room. The only thing we're missing is the cave.
Yeah, we have found pretty much everything in this seed, so...
Yeah. Well, actually, the blue boomerang as well. There may be a few heart containers, but I don't think Skeeter's gonna be checking everything for us. So, GG's, Humbug. Welcome.
Yeah, GG's, Humbug.
GG's. Thank you.
So, did you enjoy your MC boss shuffle?
You know what the answer to that is.
Most likely yes, right?
Yes. Well, yes, you know what it is, but the answer is, well, okay, fine. This was okay, I guess. We, especially getting the hook shot early was cool, so we knew that we could kill Argus whenever he cropped up. But seeing that, seeing the Shrine exit Eastern was just so heartbreaking, and then realizing that Eastern is a crystal and having to find the Ice Rod. I mean, that's boss shuffle for you.
Which, I mean, in your case, you got Ice Rod pretty fast, to be honest.
Yeah. I just took a tactical death to Cold Stare, so I had to go back there with a Fire Source later. It was all planned, you know? Okay, sure. I knew that there was just one item left because I didn't have the small key. But I think that since I hadn't killed him yet, that incentivized me to go back even more. I think it shouldn't have somehow, because there was still only one item there, and it was either on the boss or in the basement. It wouldn't matter if I had killed him the first time, but it just felt like the good play, you know, to just go back and kill him.
As far as I know, checking my notes, I just find it funny that a lot that paid off for you was Tower of Error. Both times, because you got the boots from the Tower of Terror. I believe that's the map chest in the big room. You got those before Skeeter. That gave you a minute or two. And then, of course, Ice Rod being in the big key chest. Yeah. Yeah,
the boots helped. They, I was really happy to get them early. I didn't want to have to find them in GT or whatever again. So that was nice, and I like using the boots. So it made the seed more fun. We had early boots, we had early flute. I shouldn't be complaining, which I'm not also. But yeah, for this mode, for Randomizer, it went well for me. I have a history of doing awful in these modes, but this actually did go well.
Yeah.
I do like your play to go into Agena before Ice Rod Cave to pick up that mirror upload.
So that was just a play to hopefully get money before going to Ice Rod Cave, because I wanted to pair Ice Rod Cave with Zora or whatever. So that was actually just the reason why I did that. It worked out really well getting that mirror, but that was the main reason why I went over there so early. Because I usually hate Ice Rod Cave, flute or no flute, but this time it just felt right.
I feel like you made pretty much all the best, probably the best choices out of this seed. I was really happy to see that you also are one of those that skips on the back of Thieves Town. I have to say, yes, just saying.
Yeah, back of Thieves Town in Randomizer, in Bossmeister rather. I'm not doing it. It's a pendant dungeon with 2 items. In this case, at least. So I'm not doing that, but yeah, the decisions that I made really did pay off. I went to Skull Woods, got my, what was that, cane? Yeah, there was cane in it.
Yeah.
Apart from the swamp dip, that amounted to nothing, but I felt like that was inevitable anyway. I did do the correct decisions. So
I mean,
yeah, I'm happy.
To be fair, you did get a sword in left side swamp, so that was quite nice.
That helped. But then I sequence broke Spike Cave and got another.
Also, the good thing with Swamp, and you were actually in at the same time that Skeeter was in on Swamp Palace, was that it did lead you to Bombo's tablets, and Bombo's tablet had the mitts.
Yeah, like it's always tough when you have Pendant Swamp, I mean, sorry, and Bombo's tablet open. Like, do you do Bombo's tablet before or do you do it after? It really depends on what your next play is, I think. And my next play after Swamp was to Flute Away. So that's why I did Swamp before Bombo's tablet, because I wanted to be efficient and use that mirror transition to just flute away from there later. But if I were to, like, I don't know, Pendant Ice Palace after Pendant Swamp or whatever, then I would do Bombo's tablet beforehand. So it's just a matter of the surroundings. Like, what do I want to do after this? That determines when I do that check compared to Pendant Swamp. And this time it didn't work out, but at least I did it eventually.
I mean, at the point when you guys did Swamp, you guys were looking for mids, Fire Rod, Ice Rod, I think. Forgot what.
I think you're right. Yeah, there was, like, we got a lot of progression really, well, not really early, but semi-early. Like we had a lot, apart from a fire source going into Dark World. We had a lot. It felt like it, at least.
You guys did pick up what was it, like two swords in Cagwell?
Yeah, back to back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it was the Moon Pearl as well.
Yeah, with those two swords, I was just thinking, okay, where's my lamp? But then lamp just ended up almost, like, it was really late.
Yeah. I believe lamp was Super Bunny Cave.
It was Super Bunny, yes. It was what allowed me to do Hera Basement. Fortunately.
You might have said a little bit before, but what were your thoughts when you were seeing Cold Stare in at the top of Tower of Hera?
So if I were to quote my thoughts, that would make this video unable to be uploaded to YouTube. However, yeah, like, you can, I believe you can imagine, off of that, but I don't know. I feel like that boss with Bombo's Master Sword, Green Mail, 4 Hearts, in that arena, like, if it's in Ice Palace, I should be able to do it. It should work. I still hate it, but I should be able to do it. But in that arena, it's just, it's not gonna happen. I'd rather take the Vidi up there than Cold Stare.
Just in the meanwhile, Skeeter is facing off against the second phase of Ganon, so get your GZs ready, chat. So, yeah, there was a lot early on with regards to flute, hookshot, double swords, which was nice.
Yeah, like I said, it was early on. It was very friendly. Apart from the 4 Hearts Cold Stare fight, it was a very friendly seed. Even with boss shuffle, and like we didn't even get to see what was on. Well, what was on Ice Armos, by the way?
Oh, I actually never paid attention to what I saw most. I know Skeeter did, but
Yeah,
I guess we have to ask Skeeter later.
yeah.
Yeah.
I assume it was not Trinex at least. Hopefully it was not Trinex.
If you mean the bottom of... I thought the bottom of GT was Armos.
Okay.
And yeah, get your
Just
GGs ready.
vanilla Armos.
GG's to Skeeter that just finished
Yeah.
as well. Let's see if we can get Skeeter in for a fast little interview here as well. Looks like we got a Skeeter joining. GG's to Skeeter.
Hey, GG.
GG.
That ice rod sucked.
It did. Like when I got it, I really didn't feel very good up until Hera, since I died to Cold Step. When I got it, I was like, oh yeah, this is good. This is good for me.
I'm sure it felt really good. You know, it's actually a really good thing. I also died to Cold Stare very early in the seed, and it's definitely a good thing that we both did, because I can almost guarantee you that spot would have been orphaned for a long time, because we didn't. I don't think we didn't have a fire source until very late. Very late.
Exactly. It was like it was either going back up the mountain to Super Bunny Cave like really late, or dip Fireless Mire. And you're not doing that, so it's just okay. No thanks.
Yeah. It felt so bad because I skipped it after beating Cold, and just I got it right after beating Turtle Rock. I'm like, you know what? If it's there, it was GG at that point. I already knew. Like, there was no way like I was coming back after that if it was there, and I was just like, oh, it sucked.
What made you make that decision, Skeeter, to skip Hera Basement?
You know, I think it was just feeling behind after an early death to Cold, and just having a lot of stuff open, you know. And I was just like in the mindset of, okay, let's just go get more crystals and hope it's along the way. And then, you know, if I were to go back there, it would have been like right as I did after Turtle Rock, and I feel really bad now, but it was just keep moving forward and just hope it wasn't there. It was one check against the whole world, so I don't know.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like, if you feel behind, skipping Hera Basement makes a lot of sense, in my opinion, as well. So you can't really feel that bad. I mean, you can't feel bad now, but I mean, at that point, you can't feel bad.
Exactly. Yeah. No. It felt good at that moment. With how, you know, because, you know, I think it was right after that I was heading right over into desert, into minor, and then ice. I think, okay, there's like at least, I don't even know. I mean, like 15 items coming up here. Like this, it's very likely. Well, I say likely in one of those dungeons, and you know, well, it wasn't. It bites me in the butt again. You know, it's happened many times before, unfortunately. But you think I'd learn by now?
To clarify what we saw in here, Skeeter, you did get from my memory, you did get the lamp in Super Bunny Cave before Humbug did. So if the lamp would have led to anything, as far as my calculations would have been, like the way I was seeing the race, it would have probably been close to neck and neck.
And I think I'm pretty sure I did Dark Death Mountain before I did Hera, right? I think, if I remember correctly. So I easily could have just went in right back in, and because if it was not the other way around, I definitely would have skipped it, obviously, because I wouldn't have had the lamp yet. But it's a big feels bad. But yeah, I think I got the lamp right after I got Mitts, because I went right to Death Mountain after that.
Yeah, that makes, like, that's how it went. So if you didn't went up to Turtle Rock at that point, what was and went back in, what was your next place here?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Whenever you went to Turtle Rock, was it like go to the Hera Basement or like Spike Cave?
it was going to be Spike Cave, but then I'm like, you know what? I got to check this now because I'm never going to come back up here. And I knew it was going to eat a lot of time. But right when I saw it, it was just, yeah. My play was going to be Spike Cave, but I remembered and I saw my tracker that was still there. So I was like, I guess there's no better opportunity to do this.
Missing out on Gold Sword, Pippa Hans.
Oh, where was it?
In Spike Cave.
Oh, great.
Yay!
Missed out on that. Oh, boy. Oh well. I mean, overall, how close would it have been had I gotten the ice rod? Do you know?
I mean,
Like,
if you got
It would have been close, I think.
Very,
Yeah.
very close. Yeah.
because whenever you got the ice rod, if you got the ice rod right there when you were done with Hera, you would have been like, you would have picked up fire rod go mode whenever
Yeah.
you did.
Oh.
So you would have probably been a little bit ahead maybe of Humbug at that point.
Oh man.
But not much. But it
Well-
would be really close.
I mean, it's still. I mean, that's awesome to hear because with how good of a racer Humbug is, that makes me feel a little bit better. No, but I was talking in the race room before. I was telling Humbug, this is my first main tournament. I've gotten this far, at least getting this far. So I just all these runners are so good. So being able to compete with them has just been very awesome. The races have all been close, so it's been a lot of fun. I'm enjoying this a lot.
Yeah, it's just definitely really fun, watching these and commentating these. It's so great to have you two, Grace, and for us to see it. Just thank you both so much.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we're going to have a good rematch next week.
Anytime. Yep, we are. Same time?
Ooh.
I think a little bit later next week. I think we're doing.
Right. Oh, we did 4 p.m. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think we have a little more time next week.
Okay.
So, we'll be prepping for that. But I think with this win for Humbug, how many have you won? Or is this your second race?
It is my second race and my second.
Your second? Yeah. So between you and Gil are, I think, undefeated so far. So I mean, looking really good for you two. I'm actually really excited to see those matches. I don't know if those are on the schedule yet, but those are going to be fun. None of them. One of them is.
One of them is. But we will have to schedule our last one as well.
Well, that's going to be an awesome race to watch.
Yeah.
To see two undefeated racers in this group.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just gonna hop off here. Thanks for the restream, guys. Thank you, Goran and Nissan, for the comms, and thanks for tracking and making this possible. So yeah, thanks again. GG's again, Skeeter.
Yeah, GG's to you.
I'll see you in a week.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening, day, whatever it is where you are. No problem. And just to mirror what Humbug said, thanks again to you guys for commentating, the tracker, the restreamers, making this whole tournament even possible. It's really couldn't be done without all of you.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Skeeter.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for running.
Absolutely.
Well, Goran, I guess that wraps pretty much everything up. So I will give you the finishing words. But thank you for doing comms with me, and of course our lovely bacon on the tracking. So I'll leave it to you, Goran.
Just thanks to everybody. It's been really fun. There are a few things to say. Basically, thank you, Alex, for doing comms with me. Thank you, Humbug and Skeeter, for racing and allowing us to show this. Thank you, Bacon, for tracking, and tracking is just amazing. And yeah, thank you, everybody. Really, make sure to follow SpeedGaming 1 to 5 and ALTTP Randomizer 1 to 6. The last thing I'm gonna do is, before saying goodbye, is just to check the schedule. Sorry, I should have focused on this more. So at 2:40, this should still be happening. Matt Cap versus Titos, that's on SpeedGaming. 10:10, Nightclaw versus Jet, should be SpeedGaming too. And KD Raka versus Matt7898, 10:10 on SpeedGaming. With regards to schedule, just checking now, and that's on SpeedGaming 4. There's the Ario Sora randomizer, and on some other SpeedGaming there should be another ALTTPR tournament match. So plenty to watch. Take care, and thank you everybody, and goodbye everybody.